we get to write in our journals again today. Or let's see what page is next. Oh, we get to do another procedure page writing. But this time we get to talk about this. How to make hot cocoa. Oh, I love making hot cocoa on a super cold winter day. Okay, so do you remember what we have? Just like the last one, we had first, comma, next, comma, then, comma, last, comma. Oh, perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and think of the very first step. This picture will help us. That looks like a gallon of milk. So we can say first, we pour the milk. Okay, so let's go ahead and trace over first. All right, first, comma. Now we don't have to say we can say first, pour the milk. Okay, so pour is spelled like this. Make sure you do your P underneath the line there. It's a digger. Pour the milk. Oh, there we go. That's the first step. First, pour the milk. All right. Make sure that you have your capital at the beginning, which we do because they help us with that part, and your red period at the end. Uh-oh, pressed a little too hard and I cracked it. Make sure you have your finger spaces. Nice job. Okay. Next we have next. Next, what are we doing here? They put it in the microwave. We can say heat it up. Okay. So next, let's go ahead and trace this. Next, comma, heat. Should have put a finger space right there, but I did it with my eyes. I just didn't do it with my finger. Heat up the milk. Okay. Period at the end. Can't forget about that. All right. And we know we have a capital because they did it for us. Thank you. That was super helpful. Whoever did that. Have our finger spaces. Okay. Nice job. Okay. So let's just look back and see what we have. First, pour the milk. Next, heat up the milk. What does this say? Then. Okay. So the next one is then. Go ahead and trace it. Then, what are we doing next? What is this? Oh, that's the mix. Okay, so we can pour in the mix. Okay, all right. Or we can mix up the cocoa. Okay, pour in the cocoa. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We could scoop it. Ooh, there's a spoon. Let's say scoop in the cocoa. All right, let's do that. So just saying pour, pour, pour. Let's say scoop. Yeah, I like that. Scoop. Because they have a little spoon there. Scoop in the cocoa. Now, if you don't know how to spell cocoa, it's right up here. C-O-C-O-A. It's a super tricky word. Even adults spell that word wrong. Cocoa. Then scoop in the cocoa. Period. Oh, perfect. We had just enough room in there for that. Okay, we've got our capital. Do you see how we can use our 5-star writing? Even if we're doing a different kind of writing, like procedure writing with steps, yeah, we can still use our 5 stars. We still have to have finger spaces and capitals and periods and all those kinds of things, okay? All right, and then the last one is, ooh, whipping cream and marshmallows. Okay, so we're going to say last, add whipped cream and marshmallows. Now, I'm going to say cream for short because there's not a lot of space right there, okay? If you think you can fit in whipping cream, go ahead and trace this with me. You could ask your parents how to spell that. If you don't want to, comma, you can just do what I'm doing and you can write cream, okay? Last, add cream and marshmallows, okay? You could say top with cream and marshmallows because that goes on the top. But I'm going to say add. Add cream. This is how you spell cream. Ooh, I'm going to have to squeeze it in there. C-R-E-A-M, cream. And marshmallows is kind of a long word, so try not to write too big, okay? And you can copy how to spell it. Period. Okay. So Like I said, that's kind of a long word. It's hard to squeeze it in there. Okay, make sure that you do your green capital at the beginning and a red period at the end. And make sure that you get your finger spaces in there, okay? To do that for every single sentence. All right, there we go. Look at that. I'm super proud of mine. Are you proud of yours? All right, let's get ready to do our 5-star writing. Okay, here we go. Capitals. Do we have our green capitals at the beginning of our 4 sentences? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, check. If you have yours, give yourself a check. Punctuation. We used periods in our sentences. Do we have our periods at the end of every sentence? I do. Do you? If you do, check. Finger spaces. Were you careful with your finger spaces? I sure hope so. I was. I get a check. And did I do neat writing? Even though I had to get this, I was thinking ahead and I knew I had to write smaller. And it's still pretty neat, even though I squished it in there a little bit. Looks pretty good. Check. And then we have to make sure it makes sense. So let's go ahead and let's read it. And then we can give ourselves a check for that. Okay? Let's look at the pictures while we read it. First, pour the milk. Next, heat up the milk. Then, scoop in the cocoa. Last, add cream and marshmallows. Perfect. Okay, if you want to color those in, you can. Mine makes sense. I'm going to give myself a check because I like having all those checks. How does yours look? Did you give yourself checks? If yours looks perfect and you're all done using it, don't forget to erase so that we can use this for our writing tomorrow. Great job today, boys and girls.